Hello, everyone, and welcome to Daily Newspaper Analysis, which is brought to you by Losico. So, today we have only one article for our discussion, which is titled as The Fig Leaf of Patent Protection Has to Drop. So, this article is from the Hindu newspaper, and all in all, it talks about the exactly same thing and exactly same issue that we discussed yesterday about the intellectual property waiver from the COVID-19 vaccine. But since this article had very good viewpoints today, we decided to take it up. So, I am the one who is narrating this news analysis to you guys. My name is Sheva Khan, and I am a law graduate who had completed my law degree in 2019 from Uttaranchal University with a gold medal in my batch. I have been a national debater and a public speaker throughout my educational career. And here at LawSeco, I work as the current affairs expert and manager for free content and outreach. And thus, if in case you wish to connect with me or get into discussion with anything that is for regard, you can always join me on my Twitter as well as LinkedIn handles, the link to which are available in the description box. With this, let's see what is the multiple choice question from yesterday's discussion. Compulsory licensing can be done in the case of, your options are trademark, patent, copyright, or geographical indication. You can definitely put down your answer if you know in the comment section below. This is the descriptive question for the day. IP waiver, which is the intellectual property waiver of the COVID vaccine, can increase its production all over the world. Critically discuss. Please keep in mind that whenever the term critically is used in this question, it is asking you to weigh or to discuss the given statement, keeping in mind the advantages as well as the disadvantages, which means the merits as well as the demerits of the given statement. Let's get started with our discussion for the article of the day, which talks about the waiver of patent protection. So as we know that this entire discussion has come to the forefront after the United States has taken the decision to support the India-South Africa proposal. Now, as yesterday we had already discussed, that this proposal to take away or not to claim the intellectual property or basically the patent right over the COVID-19 vaccine was brought by India as well as South Africa. And now even US, which is the richest and the most powerful country of the world, has also stood in support of this decision. So that is why it has come to the forefront for various kinds of discussions. And thus, as we know, that this proposal is seeking a waiver of the patent protection for technologies needed to combat and contain COVID-19, which comes as a shot in the arm for global health. Now, when we are using this phrase that something has come in the arm, like a shot in the arm for global health, just like the vaccine, which is administered by all of us like a shot in our arm, and definitely it adds to our health and makes us feel better. Similarly, this phrase has been used to use this analogy and has said that if at all this patent protection is waived in terms of the COVID-19 technologies and the vaccine, then definitely the global healthcare system can get a boost. So the proposal was placed before the World Trade Organization, that is the WTO, and it had been facing resistance from most of the countries, including the US administration. But now recently, the US has shown its support to this particular cause. But still, there are various countries that have come as in opposition of this particular idea. And to our surprise, Norway, which is usually an advocate for the global healthcare system or basically the global health, it also is saying that if at all this patent is taken away or this patent protection is waived in context of the COVID-19 vaccine and technologies, then it might hamper the quality of the vaccines which shall be seen in the coming future. However, the oath ahead is not clear, and that is why, as we know, that though some countries are in favor of this particular observation or this particular contention, there are a lot of other nations also that are in complete disagreement of this proposal. So while France and Russia have declared support, Germany has been opposing it too. So as we know that now US, France, Russia, India, South Africa, all these nations are in support of the waiver of the patent protection, but Norway as well as Germany are opposing to it. Now, as we know that the World Trade Organization depends on the principle of consensus and not the principle of majority. Now, what do we mean by saying this? So, for example, if there are 100 people or 100 stakeholders that have to take a decision in the WTO, so it would not be that if at all 50 plus 1, that is, if 51 stakeholders say something, so the majority would win. That is not the case with WTO, which is the World Trade Organization. So instead of the majority, it works on the consensus, which means that it would make the best of the efforts to bring everyone, every stakeholder at the consensus, which means that they should all be in a single kind of agreement. And that is why, in case of the patent waiver for COVID-19 vaccine and technologies, it is taking quite much a long time to get all the parties, that is, all the nations that are the member states of WTO, to come at a consensus and agree to either side of the arguments. So now, what does the intellectual property waiver for COVID-19 vaccine actually mean as per the article? So the IP waiver might open up space for production of COVID vaccines with emergency use authorizations, as we yesterday itself discussed, such as those developed by Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca, Novavax, Johnson & Johnson, and Bharat Biotech take on a larger scale in middle-income countries. Now, as we know, that there are various vaccine candidates from all over the world that are coming up with their versions of vaccines. And according to this article, it is said that if at all this patent waiver is granted to the COVID-19 vaccines, so in context of these vaccines, better and more rigorous, that is a greater scope of production of these vaccines at a larger scale, which definitely is the need of the hour, can be monitored. As we know, like if we take the context of India as well, currently many people have to wait for their turns to get into the vaccines. And even the hospitals and the primary healthcare centers and various healthcare centers where these vaccines are being given to the people, they many a times run short of the vaccines. And that is why the reason here is that we, even after having a lot of capability and infrastructure as well, we are still not able to cope up with the demand. And that is why this lacuna or gap is coming in the supply of the vaccines as well as the demand of the vaccines. And thus, if at all, there is a possibility that if this step is taken up, so this complete gap of the vaccine availability can be covered in various countries. And we should note that India still is not at the such bad verge, whereas various countries, specifically if we talk about various African countries that have large number of cases on one hand, and then on the second hand, they do not even have their own vaccines being produced domestically. That is why the situations are very, very dire, and that is why it would be very much ideal that if vaccine production can be increased in their own countries as well. So most production is currently concentrated in the high income countries, as we discussed yesterday as well. Like, for example, we can take Russia. We have Sputnik 5 from Russia. Then we have AstraZeneca from UK. We have Moderna. We have Johnson & Johnson. Then we have some candidates from US as well. And then, of course, we have the Covaxin, which is there from India itself. So we know that mostly the high income countries, because definitely they had better prospects of developing the vaccine. So, and currently they are the ones that are in greater capacity to develop these vaccines as well. And that is why most of the vaccines are currently concentrated in these high income countries, and the production by middle income countries has been happening through licensing or technology transfer agreements. So if at all in any middle income countries, if at all they are able to produce the vaccines, that is being done via the channel of licensing, which means that, for example, in India, the Covaxin vaccine is developed by Bharat Biotech. So it is in the capacity to license, to grant license to any pharmaceutical company or any pharmaceutical institution or laboratory in any other country. And it would grant the license that, yes, using these and these guidelines, keeping these and these standards and safety standards in mind, you are given the license to develop the vaccine, in a way to manufacture the vaccine. So if at all this is happening through licensing or technology transfer agreements. But the people that are in favor of the patent waiver say that licensing, basically it narrows down the scope of vaccine production, because obviously not every other institution or every other pharmaceutical company would be granted the license. Definitely it will be only some handful or very few of these companies, or the pharmaceutical companies, that would actually be granted the license. And that is why it is again defeating the purpose of manufacturing the COVID vaccine at a faster rate. Now, here as well, we should note that what are the reasons for opposing this particular patent waiver. So just like we have some arguments in favor of the patent waiver, there are also various agreements, there are also various arguments that are against the patent waiver. So, firstly, they say that the capacity for producing vaccines of assured quality was limited to some laboratories. Now, exactly, this is definitely a very valid point, that if at all we make it an open forum that every laboratory or any pharmaceutical company can now manufacture the vaccine, then definitely it would become very, very difficult to maintain and to observe and to keep a check on the quality of these vaccines. And that is why there might be a good chance that some laboratories might do away with the quality in order to produce more and more vaccines and to make more monetary benefits. Though there has been a suggestion given in the article that definitely some bodies, some special authorities can be brought in, some agencies can be brought in to keep a regular check on the quality of the vaccines. But still, definitely we know that in a practical world, it becomes really difficult to monitor the quality of the vaccine. And thus, the capacity for producing the vaccines of assured quality can definitely be brought under a question. Second, the low labor costs in these countries are attractive, that the confidence in the quality and the safety of their products is high, so as long as the patents and profits are protected. Now, definitely, it's a very amazing point which has been given in this article, that many of these countries, which are the middle or the low income countries, wherein we are trying to increase the manufacture of the vaccines, these countries have abandoned labor because obviously they do not have a lot of opportunities for employment already, and that is why the labor is available at a very low cost. And in such abundance of labor, it would be difficult to assure that the quality, because now here it will be easier for the companies to employ people and to manufacture the vaccines. And that is why quality checking will again become difficult because of the abundance of the low cost labor available. And also, it is said that if at all in such countries, we need to make sure that the vaccine or any product that is being manufactured is of high quality. Basically, the standard quality which was there in the original country that made it, it should be made sure that the patent has been granted and the profits are protected, and only then the quality can be taken care of. In this article, a very good example of China has been given, wherein we know that because of the high population of China, the labor over there is also very abundantly available, and that too at a very low cost. And that is why many a times China has been very, very profoundly been able to copy the technologies from the other countries. And since we know that it has become the manufacturing hub of the world, it is easier for them to copy the quality and to degrade basically the quality to make something available at lower cost. And that is why there is a good chance that even in the case of COVID-19 vaccines, this ideology could be picked up either by China or even other countries that are in similar position. And thirdly, the reason for opposition is that this duplicity has been seen for years when multinational firms have subcontracted manufacturers of patented products to industries with low production costs in developing countries. So in this, many a times it has been seen in the past as well that such patented products also, they went down on their quality. And definitely if something is not patented, then we can definitely imagine the course that it would take. So now, as we had already discussed, that the patents are for two things. That can be for the patents can be for the final product, that is a product patent, and also it can be for the process patent. And since the time of 1975 to 2005, India has been focusing more on the process patent, which means that the other companies or the other countries can also, any other institution, company, or whatsoever is in regard of this is related to. So that company or laboratory can definitely, by using some other process, manufacture the same thing. So which means India protects not the product, but the process with which something is manufactured. And thus, we know that these are the patents, and that is why the intellectual property rights are very important, so that it can prevent copying from any kind of, or copying of any kind of invention. So we can, if at all you wish to know more about it, you can definitely go through the article in detail, and that is why it will make a better understanding for this entire thing. And also the article presents a background of this entire thing, where in October 2020, India and South Africa had asked the World Trade Organization to waive the certain conditions of trade-related aspects of intellectual property rights, which is the TRIPS agreement. And all of us know that at the international or the global forum, it is the TRIPS agreement, which is the trade-related aspects of intellectual property rights that regulates the grant of various kinds of patents and intellectual property rights. And that is why it was back in October 2020 itself when India and South Africa had asked for this waiver. So we're done with the discussion for the day. We hope it was a good and informative session for you all. If you like this session, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to our channel for such more sessions. Thank you so much.